you are. All you have to do is call up the network, and because the network is connected to a satellite that's above the earth, it knows exactly where you are. You can't see the satellite, but it will find you if you're lost. All you have to do is call OnStar. And OnStar will give you directions from where you are to where you should be. And so I've got good news for those of us who find ourselves victimized by the results of a wrong turn. I've got good news for those who have been jaded by the circumstances of abuse. I've got good news for those who have been diminished by the effects of neglect, for those who have been dominated by disaster or depressed by disease or crushed by circumstances or victimized by violation. I've got good news for those who have been bothered by betrayal or aggravated by absence or frustrated by failure. I've got good news for those who feel that your life has been one downward spiral. Good news for those who feel like you're stuck in the loop or trapped in the never-ending cycle of poverty or second-class living or abuse or dysfunction. You can get directions out of your current situation. Oh my God. In other words, you're going to be all right because God hooked you up with the network. You see, God has his own star system, and if you follow the star, you can find your way. You can't see God because he's above everything like the satellite. But the good news is, if you get with the network, God will set you free. God will speak to you. God will order your steps to overcome the failures of your past, to get past the dysfunctionality of your background. You need to know that even though your situation might be a mess right now, you can have a future that is blessed by God. Oh, my. In our text in Matthew, Herod called on the Magi, or the wise men, to find the Christ child. The scribes and the chief priests had told him the prophecy that a king would be born. He heard that it was in Bethlehem in the land of Judea. Well, they wanted to know, how is it that we get to where the master is going to be born? Oh my God. They said, just follow the star. Follow. Would you touch your neighbor and tell your neighbor, all you got to do is follow the star? I got to get to my third point, but can I tell you a little story? A story is told about a young boy and a young girl, sister and brother, who lived in a crowded neighborhood next to a big church. And every day they took the school bus to school, and mama feared that one day that they would get lost. And so what she did, she wrote down their address and her phone number on a piece of paper and gave it to the little girl and said, if you ever get lost, give this to some adult so you can find your way home. Well, one day the unthinkable happened. They got put off the bus in the wrong neighborhood, and the little girl couldn't find the piece of paper in her backpack. And as her little brother began to cry, she looked up, snatched her little brother by the hand, and began to walk with all deliberateness, going down streets, turning corners, cutting through alleys until she finally found her way home. And when she got home, Mama said, how did you find your way home? She said, Mama, we live right next door to that big church with the great big cross on the top. And all I did was follow the cross till I found my way home. If you're lost, keep your eyes on the cross. If you don't know your way, keep your eyes on the cross. If you don't know right from left, keep your eyes on the cross. Oh, bless his name. Well, I'm not going to get to my third point, but I got a little testimony at the cross. At the cross, where I first saw the light and the burdens of my heart, they rolled away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and now I'm happy all the day. Well, can I get back to Brother Jacob as a close? Brother Jacob, Lord have mercy, was there, my God. He said, I've got to turn this thing around. I'm just wondering in here today, is there anybody in here who's in a situation where you need a turn around? I came by here to tell you that God is in the business of turning things around. Late in the midnight hour, God will turn it around. It will work in your favor. Do I have a witness in here that knows that God will make a way out of no way? God will pick you up and turn you around and place your feet on solid ground. Somebody say, yeah, yes. I'm out of here. Jacob said, I got to turn this thing around. I'm going to send this company that way. I'm going to send this company that way. I'm going back home. I got to meet up with my brother Esau. I got to make things right. But before he left to go back to Esau, notice what happened in the text. In the 35th chapter, the Lord said to him, your name is Jacob, but no longer shall you be called Jacob, because Jacob means conniving trickster. But you can't be a conniving trickster once the Lord has touched you. Bless his name. He said, your name shall be called Israel. Israel means Prince of God. God changed him from a trickster to a prince, from a conniver to a man of God, from a thief to a praiser. Is there anybody in here that can testify that the Lord changed my name? Yeah! Lord have mercy. I heard the songwriter say, I know I've been changed. Is there anybody in here who knows? Slap somebody high five and say, I know he changed me. Things I used to do, I don't do no more. Where I used to go, I don't go no more. Got rid of them old friends. Got rid of them old habits. God. Slap somebody high five and say, he changed me. He changed me. He made a difference in my life. I just came by here to help somebody and tell you that no matter what you've been through, no matter what's in your past, I don't care what mama did. I don't care who hurt you. I don't care who abused you. I don't care who betrayed you. I don't care what mistakes you made. We serve a God that can fix it. Between midnight and morning, he changed water to wine. Between the dipping and the sipping. Would you tell somebody, I know he's able? Is there anybody in here who can testify and say, I know he's able? Yeah! God will pick you up. God will heal your body. Yeah. Well, that was a point of praise right there. Oh my God, if you just think about where you've been to where you are now, that was a point of praise. Matter of fact, tap your neighbor and tell your neighbor, look. Point back at the door, tell him, look where the Lord brought me from. Brought me out of darkness in the marvelous light. Cleaned me up from the drug habit. Took the taste of alcohol out. Cleaned up my smoking habit. God did it when nobody could do it. When the doctor couldn't fix my life, God fixed it. When Dr. Phil couldn't do it, God did it. When Oprah didn't have the answer, God did it. When mama couldn't pray hard enough, God did it. When grandma died, God did it. When daddy couldn't help me, God did it. When pastor couldn't help me, God did it. Touch somebody and tell them you're looking at a miracle, because God. Well, I dare you to praise him like he did it. Well, look at somebody and say, I know you don't know why I'm praising them, because you don't know like I know what the Lord have done for me. Oh, my. You can't tell it. Let me tell it. What the Lord has done for me. Matter of fact, if you knew what God did for me just in the last year, you'd shout for me right now. Go ahead, brother. Can I tell you what happened to Jacob? Jacob sent his family off another direction because he thought that Esau still wanted to kill him. So he went on to meet his brother, the one whose birthright he stole. Come on, somebody. And when he got there to meet up with his brother grabbed Jacob, wrapped his arm around him, hugged him, and welcomed him back home. I'm here to tell you that God will fix that thing in a way that you never imagined, that God will fix that thing.